Hello, Canada. We have some breaking news here on the Canadian Citizen Journal. I'm your host, alias Tagai. More information just came out about the conversation that Trump had with Carney. It's even more damning than just the 51st state being brought up. It seems as though Carney was kissing Trump's butt. Yes. We're going to get onto this in a little wee bit in this episode. He had a presser today. There is so much going on. There is so much news going on that mainstream is hiding, and it's getting more and more of it's becoming exposed the closer to the election we're getting. The pressure's on. It's coming from the police informing the Senate because they're being ignored by the Liberal Party. It's coming from the Steelworkers unions exposing the owner of the company and the union bosses for lying to the people. It's coming from everywhere. Let's just get started at this presser. This is... what an unbelievable day. Just an unbelievable day. Listen carefully.
Althea Raj, the Toronto Star.
Now, Toronto Star, listen to how she words her question. Now, this has to deal with the report released by the PMO's office on where Canada is going in the next 15 years. I will post that link again. I post everything. All my proof is down there. So and ignore, I don't delete comments. I get liberals. They see the clip or my heading, and then they'll post something on there like I just had one where the guy said bullcrap. Ignore those. These are people who don't even watch the episode. They refuse to see the proof. All the evidence is in the description. I post all of it, and you can see that I'm not editing clips. I'm not picking out sound bites. I'm showing you the evidence, including the documents people need to see. Now, once again, let's take off from here. Listen to how she words the actual question. This is propaganda media, people.
Will suggest that you're on your way to majority government, but not with more than 50% of Canadians voting for you. So I'd like to ask you a double-barreled question, if I can.
Sure.
Do you think it's fair that you could possibly obtain a very strong majority mandate with less than a majority of the country voting for you? And we've seen in the last week you sharpening your attacks against Pierre Poilievre. We saw the crowd boo this morning. We saw them boo last night. We've seen the Conservative leader also sharpen his attack, suggest that Liberals don't want people to own a house. They want people foraging for their food, or they believe that the Liberal future means that you will be foraging for our food.
Are you hearing how she's wording this question? This is ridiculous.
If you do win on Monday, what will you do to reach out to all the millions of people who will have voted for Pierre Poilievre?
Well, they're not going to have to forage for food. Look, I'm running to be Prime Minister of the country. I'm doing everything I can to be as transparent as I can about what we will do if we gain the confidence of Canadians under our system. But the Prime Minister of the country is the Prime Minister of the country, the Prime Minister of works for every Canadian all the time, regardless of who they voted for or whether they voted, and for young people who can't vote as well. So it's a tremendous responsibility, and it's one I view in its totality. So if I'm humbly speaking, if I gain that confidence through our system, absolutely, we'll work for all Canadians.
Next question.
Hear the seals?
Bonjour, Mélanie Marie, la presse. Hier, le chef du Bloc québécois, M. Blanchet, qu'est-ce que vous pensez?
C'est pour ces commentaires. Je suis fier Canada Well, it's for others to judge to form their own opinion of those comments. I reject them completely. This is This is an incredible country. I'm incredibly proud to be Canadian. We have done incredible things, or those who came before us have done incredible things to create this kind, diverse, ambitious, humble country. And what I see, and what I would look to be part of, is this process that is underway of the country coming together, of unifying. And I want to support that, not divide.
Okay, enough of that bull crap. This is the report right here. I will post the link to get to it. This is a serious condemnation of the last 10 years. What was thought was going to happen 40 to 60 years away if we didn't start getting involved and controlling all of the, we'll call it socialist removal of the democratic ability for Canadians to control their futures, which has been talked about in the last like 20 some years. There's been a lot of different kind of writings that have come out. This one here destroys the Liberal Party. This was put out by the Paulson's Horizons Canada Committee, which is a part of the Privy Council. It is a huge, scary warning that we will literally be, and I'm going to read some of this off to you. The economy may shrink and become more volatile. Mental health challenges could grow due to frustrated hopes and expectations. Workers and recent immigrants may choose to leave Canada for better opportunities elsewhere. People may turn to informal grassroots and community-based ways of fulfilling their basic needs. The post-secondary education sector may become a stranded asset, and people may reject the systems they believe they have failed them. All of those are happening today. We are seeing the largest evacuation of hard-working immigrants and Canadians and Canadian business owners ever before in Canadian history. Homesteading and off-grid groups, including people who are removing their children from the educational system, homeschooling, at precedents never seen before. This is already happening. This report goes right in, and it literally says home owning is not a realistic goal. People are already realizing it's not going to happen. Intergenerational growth is pretty much gone and destroyed. Wealth and status passed down from generations. Family background, especially owning property, divides haves from have-nots. In other words, families are going to start like destroying themselves. We're seeing it already. The people who are brainwashed within a family by the propaganda, and the people who are actually paying the bills and going, are you aware of what is happening to Canada? We are being divided by the socialist suckholes of Canada who are, all they care about is themselves and the rich and all of the rest, which is the working class. And I'm going to prove this even more further in this episode by all of the lies on mainstream media and the actual unions that are backing the Conservative Party. Social siloing, aspirations and expectations. They literally start saying how people are going to start hunting and foraging because it's going to be impossible to buy food. Like I said, I post the link. I urge you. It's not a long document. It gives 3 other links you can go to that show really well done graphs from other organizations that have been warning about this. He knows about the report. He literally lied straight through his teeth to you. His party is the reason this went from 60 years away to 15 years away. Look outside. Anybody who says that this is that Canada hasn't changed is not living in the real world. Here's another one. Members of the Canadian Senate are now aware of the damning letter submitted by police officers to Prime Minister Mark Carney in an effort to clear up political corruption. It's causing quite a stir at the RCMP headquarters. Sources within indicate senior command is outraged Rather than investigating the allegations, it appears they're more interested in the damage control and going after those who brought it to public attention. These are the people who are appointed by the Trudeau Liberals, are pissed that this letter got out and that regular police, regular RCMP, not the appointed people, not the people right now like Trudeau, who's rather look for the whistleblowers and CSIS that said Liberal Party is corrupt. Hello, China's taking over. They didn't. Where's the foreign registry? Not a single name on there. In the meantime, Carney, previous episodes, I expose, look at Paul Chen, threatening to literally he's telling his constituents, no. My conservative opponent, he's wanted in China. You should go kidnap him. Take him to the consulate so they can take him to China and have him offed. And you can get a reward. No condemnation. Hardly any press news at all on mainstream. The police, actual unions, are choked right now. And they're getting hammered on by the appointed chiefs and other officials from the Liberal Party. Are you seeing this? This is crazy, people. And they have no voice because they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to speak up. They're not allowed to go to media and say, hey, don't elect this party. This is what's going on. They're not allowed to do it. They're bound by their oath. I will post that link as well, which is right here. It's as clear can be. The media could be talking about this, should be talking about this, but they're not. This is damning. This is hugely damning. The Liberals have been purposely forcing false allegations, false information to the public. They've even let out names, protected names of undercover agents to our enemies, specifically China. They've let China know all of the investigations that were ongoing, proving that they've infiltrated our government. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. All the documents are in the description, people. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This has to get out. The media is just, they're in overdrive trying to stop any bad narrative, any bad proof on this Liberal Party. This is the most important election as far as I'm concerned in Canadian history. This is our takeover. This is our complete and utter takeover. It's happening right now. Let's go back to this presser. Listen to more of this crap.
Alex Ballingall with the Toronto Star. You've talked a lot, basically at every rally and this morning again about...
Toronto Star again, right? They're bringing up these points so they can say, well, we did ask. But it's how they ask and the questions they get, and they don't go any further with it. Controlled media. There's no independent media there. None. Every person gets a check from your tax-paying dollars from this Liberal government to these corporations, to these magazine and news outlets.
About how the United States wants to break us, own us, take our land, water, and resources. Is there a scenario, in your view, where they use or try to use military force to accomplish those goals?
No. Short answer, Alex, is no.
Well, of course.
No.
And if you could...
Non.
Why are you saying that?
Il n'y a pas de scénario.
Let's go
Nous
to French.
sommes en français, je commence en français. Non, il n'y a pas de scénario. Exemple, I do think that, if I may switch back to answer the balance of your question, look, the U.S. is trying to put economic pressure on us to gain major concessions and to the extreme of a level of integration of our countries that would impinge our sovereignty. We have to be clear-eyed about this. This is what, these aren't just words when I say in a crisis you have to prepare for the worst. And the worst is that is the goal. Take what the president says literally. I take it literally. I always have. Others have said it's a joke. Others ignored it for months. Right from the start, I took it seriously.
Right. Did you really? Now, boom. Let's just prove this just ended every single bit of what he thinks I'm the guy fighting against Trump. I'm the guy. I've told him. Bullcrap, people. The Trump and U.S. drama has been fake and staged by Carney and the Liberals. This is a Forbes. I'm going to read you the Canadian version. A senior first, I'll read the Forbes as well here. A source with knowledge of the call has told the National Post that the perception created by Canadian readout of the call is at odds with what actually happened. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go to the actual National Post article. Since then, the central plank of Carney's campaign is that he is taking a tougher line with Trump than other international leaders and is best positioned to negotiate a new deal with the president. But a source said the readout did not include the fact that Carney flagged for the president that he would need to talk tough about America and Trump during the election. Are you hearing this? He kissed Trump's ass. He kissed the ring, people. And then said, you're going to have to bear with me, though, because I'm going to have to trash talk you and make it sound like I'm talking tough so I can win the election. Carney is also said to have called Trump a transformative president that he'd like to work with. Now, of course, being journalists, they have to ask other officials. And here's what they said. A spokesman for the Prime Minister's office said Carney did not tell the president that he would have to criticize him during the campaign. Readers can make up their own minds about what they believe. I would only note that Prime Minister's office denied details of the Radio Canada story on Trump as well, and called Carney's call before the Liberal leader confirmed its central premise, which we've all heard. This is why I need you to like, share, and subscribe. This is why when I promote other independent media, these are the people that you should be reading. National Post, great, absolutely great magazine, great news. They play both sides. They'll tell you the good of the Liberals, the bad of the Conservatives, the good of the Conservatives. They do their job. That's what we're supposed to be seeing. Now, this should have been in mainstream today. I've had it blaring while I have been, and flicking channels. I hate having to do it, but I have to do it. While I've been confirming this. This is confirmed. It's even being reported on down in the States. Carney kissed the ring, people. He is going to sell out our nation. And we all know why. Why did you move Brookfield to the States? Why did you remove it from Canadian entity? Why are you hiding all of Canadian taxpayers' dollars down in tax havens? Previous episodes, I exposed not only Brookfield, I exposed Carney. I have 3 or 4 breaking where I actually broke stories or was the second or third person in Canada or the world to break them. Digging, finding all of this stuff out. I'm not surprised by this at all. Moving on. This is David Akin. You know who David Akin is. Chief political correspondent for Global News. Propaganda, bought and paid for by your tax dollars through the Liberal Party. Well, David Akin likes social media, and he gets his little minions to help spread lies. So this is what David Akin had put after Poilievre literally landed the plane, drove the plane all the way up the tarmac. They killed the engines, opened up the doors, introduced Poilievre. Poilievre gets off the plane, comes down to a record-breaking number of people in Calgary. Huge rally. What does he do? for a campaign that's trying to shed any Trumpiness, not sure this final hour's photo op helps. Now, myself and tens of thousands of other great patriots went and found pictures of Trudeau, who had done the same thing during his election 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Here's the kicker. What happens? Well, looky. It ends up that the Liberal Party, Carney, tried to pull this off. Copying, once again, Conservatives, making it look like he's flying all over to record-breaking numbers. Now, we're going to just show you how this is literally the Democratic playbook. This is he's doing exactly what, with the help of American media, did for Kamala Harris. The reality is they were bussing in. They bust in. These aren't real voters from the area. They bust them in from all over Ontario. Here they are, lining up. I love the comment there, Dean Scariocco. How much are they being paid? Very good question. Literally, they're rolling right in. This is in Humber College. And the final, reality is here he is coming in on the bus.
You know you are, Carney. Carney, where's all your money heading, Carney? All your money's heading in the Caribbean, Carney.
Fake.
We pay taxes and you don't.
All of it
is that what
is
it is,
fake.
Carney? We pay taxes and you don't.
Just like the Democrat Party owned the media in the States, which that's all that funding's being exposed thanks to
You're a
Doge.
Chinese asset and you know you
This
are,
is what our
Carney.
media has done.
Carney, where's all
There
your
they
money
are,
heading, Carney?
driving in his great big
All your
entourage.
money's heading
All for
in the
show.
Caribbean, Carney. We pay taxes and you don't. Is that what it is, Carney?
Moving on. This is another great one. I pointed this out. He's done this at lots. I had a person months ago while I was up in the bush on another social media platform tell me, wait a minute, hey, they asked us and we told them, no, we won't stand behind them. So they brought out office staff and gave them all brand new hard hats and safety glasses and forced them to go there and stand behind them. Well, they're trying to do this again. This is the so-called Steelworkers. Remember, he stood in front of Algoma, and they had all these... Look at them. Every single person in this picture is all in brand new gear. There is not a single real worker in this picture. I'm a red steel fabricator, and I've never seen employees look like this, is the comment. Out of shape, shiny hats, no stickers, matching goggles, and clean PPE. Well, guess what? This ended up going viral. And steelworkers are coming out. And they're saying, no, none of us came. We don't know who these people are. Some of them are recognizing, and I'm not going to shame cast any of the people standing back there because this is office staff. And other staffers that aren't even part of Algoma that were brought in, dressed as though they were workers, and stood behind them. This is all props. All of it's props. Unions are actually, the few unions that are saying, oh, well, we're backing the Liberal Party. I'm getting constant contact through different social media, especially on TikTok, where the workers are showing me and telling me, this is a lie. We're telling our union reps to shut their trap. And all these union reps are going to be skidded. They're going to be elected out because the workers don't want any part of the Liberal Party. I've even had a few from the auto sector come forward and thank me for a video that I put down saying that they're actually showing it off as lies and trying to hide it, which I know I am being censored on YouTube. Heavily censored on YouTube. Anytime I say anything, especially dealing with controversial with the liberal or China, I get deplatformed. I know because I watch all my algorithms. I have the technology to chase it and find out where I'm being seen the most, promoted the most, shared the most. This is why I urge everybody to like, share, and subscribe. You got to help me get the word out, because when I talk about controversial things like this, I get censored. Now I'm going to break it down to you. This is why it was all put forward. This is Dennis Turcotte. This is the Brookfield page. Yes, Dennis Turcotte. He is the owner of, or the CEO of Algoma Steel. I'll full screen this. Let's go over it. He's the managing partner of Brookfield's private equity group, where he focuses on blah, 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 blah. Prior to joining Brookfield, Mr. Turcotte held several roles, including principal of North Channel Management and Capital Partners, CEO of Algoma Steel and Paper Group President, and EVP Corporate Development and Planning with Tembec. Carney's calling in favors, and Brookfield is trying to do everything they can to help, because they are going to reap trillions of dollars destroying Canada. They're going to finish off what the Liberal Party started, which is the post-national state. Here is a huge list of all the unions that are backing Poilievre. In a landmark shift for Canadian Labour, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre welcomed the support of major trade unions who have endorsed the Conservatives. These are unions, these are the few unions that actually did endorse him. But like I said, from the unions that supposedly are endorsing the Liberals, their workers are speaking out saying, this is a lie, we don't support what our union's saying. International Brotherhood of Boilermakers, United Brotherhood of Carpenters, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Quebec, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 773, Steelworkers 9548, Journeymen and Apprentices of the Plumbing and Pipe Fitting Industry for the United States and Canada, United Association of Journeymen Apprentices of the Plumbing and Pipe Fitting United States and Canada. These are two different locals. International Union of Painters and Allied Trades, as well as Praise for Our Plans. It goes on and on. There's a lot more. This is also the police unions. Now, Ottawa has just come out and endorsed them. Toronto has come out and endorsed them. Peel has come out and endorsed them. They have all of the support from all of the Western provinces' police forces. These are the front lines. This is a warning to Canadians. And then, like I brought up on another episode that got heavily censored, I'm talking they tried so hard to deplatform me. I was getting reverse algorithms on it. A letter from the Vatican warning Canadians. They've actually been writing the government, telling them, are you crazy? You're going against your own charter rights. Now you're going to take away charitable status for a church for being pro-choice. If this is a fascist regime, if you go against the party, regardless of your race, it don't matter. They don't care. The charter is irrelevant. They will try to crush you. The church knows if Carney and the Liberals get a majority government, say goodbye to churches, they are going to become heavily taxed. They're going to lose their charitable status. This is insane. I have another episode I'm working on right now. I'm going to try and get out here tonight if I can on the block and what the actual is going on with the block. And on the previous episode, I brought up what he had said, how Canada it's not even a real country. Well, he got questioned again today on it. And what he said, guess what? I sit corrected, even though I still think the party shouldn't exist. I totally understand where he's coming from. I still don't agree with him. In fact, I think his federal party is crap and should never have been allowed. So don't get me wrong on that. But once you hear him and how he describes Canada and what the Liberal Party has done, it is a huge wake-up call. And confirms even more on why Canada, and now, yeah, I'm agreeing 100%. Actually, I was kind of for it all along, which I've hinted at. I understand. I totally agree that if the Liberals win, the West should leave. Knowing what this is, what this Liberal Party is going to do, they should leave. And Blanchette put it out in straight English, if you can imagine, which he repeated in French, but in straight English. We're in big trouble here, people. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe and get the word out. All the evidence, all the documents are all in my description. This isn't fake news. That's why I started this channel. For far too long, Canadians have been coerced and lied to, bribed, manipulated through fake media. We have to end it. Get a conservative government in so we can defund them, and that'll be the probably greatest start Canada has to getting back on path to a true democracy. We need freedom of speech. We need freedom of information. Unbelievable times. Unbelievable. Until next time, you guys, you've been watching the Canadian Citizen Journal. I'm Alias Tagay. Stay informed.